back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Cardi B gets exposed for lying. Per usual, she is a lying Libra. Let's take a listen to the cap that she says on Spaces.
If I was still there, I was gonna end up going to jail. Because I was gonna end up killing them. Seriously, with my own bare hands. It was just getting too much. I do not understand why I'm getting so much disgusting hate from men. I'm even being called a hoe by men. It is so crazy. I don't understand how I was a hoe. I was married for 7 years and I was faithful for 7 years. Before that, I was engaged for 3 years. Everybody know that I was engaged to somebody that was in jail. I feel like I've been married for a very long time. You don't see stories of me being a whore and being a slut and being this and that. Just because I was a stripper, I wasn't fucking niggas. Just so many mean things that I could say. Oh, I'm popping out with somebody to get other people mad. And like I'm playing a certain type of game. I don't think people realize the motherfuckers popped up with a new significant other before me. I was having a good day on New Year's and motherfucker pop out with their shorty on New Year's. I didn't rush to find somebody to pop out. Like, oh, where are you popping out with somebody? I'm gonna pop with somebody too. I was single September, October, November, December, January, February. I was partying. I was learning myself. I was crying a lot. There was nights and there was days that I felt like it's like, damn, I feel real lonely. And I took my time to learn myself and I cried a lot of tears. There was times that I used to be like depressed and I was like sad and like my mind just kept going in circles and circles and circles. For some reason, when I had those weird episodes, that's when a motherfucker would like hit me up or text me out of the mood, checking on me and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just give it a chance. You know what I'm saying? I built a friendship. I got to know the person. They get to know me. I feel very refreshed. Yeah, I be putting my business out there, but I don't think that people understand just things that I like literally went through.
Now, Cardi B, stop the cap. All you do is lie. You just a lying ass Libra. First of all, you didn't build no friendship. You was texting that man while you was pregnant with Off the Cheat's baby, allegedly, which allegedly may not be his. Off the Cheat already exposed you for texting Stefan Diggs while you was pregnant. He already exposed you for that. And then on top of that, you complaining that Off the Cheat, came out with his girl or whatever in January. Didn't you spend Valentine's Day with Stefan Diddy? How is he your friend if you spending Valentine's Day with him? Women don't spend Valentine's Day with their male friends. Stop. That's a lie. So you're trying to act like you don't do tit for tat, but you do. And then on top of that, lying, saying that you was going to kill him with your bare hands. You wasn't going to do nothing. Okay, stop it. With them fake ass threats. You wasn't gonna do nothing. You allowed that man to cheat on you for 7+ years. You didn't do shit but throw bottles at the mistresses. And then you got 2 weeks of community service. So stop. What I don't respect is how she trying to lie about the timeline, saying, oh, I took my time. You did not take your time. You had a baby last year and then already in a new relationship last year. Okay? Y'all was seeing each other last year and you trying to act like, oh, you waited until this year. Even then, you really didn't give that coochie a break. Okay? Let's be very clear. You was probably sleeping with Stefan Diddy since last year. Stop. So I don't want to hear, oh, why am I being slut-shamed? Because you acted like a hoe and you continue to act like a hoe. And you know what? That's your right. Off the Cheat did you dirty, so you trying to get your lick back. Just be honest with it. That's all I want. I want the honesty. I don't respect the cap and the lie. Now, it also has been reported that Doja Cat is coming to finally save the summer. Jealous Type is allegedly coming out June 13th, which is next week, okay? And I think it's the perfect time because I feel like Jealous Type could be one of the biggest summer hits of 2025, considering that we don't have any summer hits right now, okay? So I'm happy that it's finally coming out, and hopefully the music video is fire. Doja Cat usually has fire music videos, so hopefully she get the same type of budget for that, because I feel like the music video could easily make or break this type of record, but that's just me. Now, moving on to Megan Thee Stallion, she scored a big win in court against Mob Radio. It was reported that unfortunately, Milagro is not allowed to post or discuss Megan Thee Stallion in regarding anything, even when it comes to the Tory case, okay? Because she's in a civil defamation lawsuit / harassment lawsuit against Megan, and so she's not allowed to speak against Megan according to the judge. So there was a new ruling in this lawsuit, and unfortunately she's not allowed to speak on Megan or Tory in regards to the case. Okay. Now, with that being said, I noticed with Megan, and Cardi B, they always go after black women, especially black bloggers, but I noticed Megan never goes after Wackademics, Joe Budden, or Messy Lee, and they be on her ass, especially Wackademics and Joe Budden. They be dragging Megan. But she don't ever take them to court. She don't ever try to do nothing to them. Maybe because they're part of the industry. And, they have more connections with the industry. So maybe that's why. But, I just find it strange that she be going after Milagro, but Wackademics drags you any chance he gets. Any chance. Okay. Especially on that Twitter blog he got. And you be hella quiet. Okay, she won't dare ever say nothing about Kanye West, who was just dissing her and caping for Tory and sharing the petition that Tory should be free. She was quiet as a church mouse. So with that being said, I just feel like it's a little bit hypocritical, to only go after Mob Radio, but not go after everybody else. Now, moving on from that, doodle garbage. Please come to the front of the congregation and you will be receiving 5 million lashings, which is way more than what you have in the bank. But you will be receiving 5 million lashings for disrespecting Halle Bailey in this frivolous and also denied restraining order that he tried to get on Halle Bailey. Doodle garbage asked the court to not allow Halle Bailey to have custody of their son as she is mentally unstable and that she's unable to take care of herself. He also posted a series of text messages where he was exposing himself mostly. I saw him expose himself more than he exposed Halle. But him and Halle were on a break and he allegedly slept with that industry thought Lala. She's like some sort of Instagram model. Also, he claims that she put an air tag, in his car. He also exposed that Halle Bailey, due to postpartum, was, trying to off herself or wanted to off herself. And she was begging for him to take Hałłë. He also said that basically she tried to stab him, or she did stab him, and she was beating on him. That's what he claims. Now, despite previous reports, Doodle Garbage was in fact granted a temporary restraining order against Halle Bailey, which makes no logical sense because she already got a restraining order. So obviously she doesn't want to be in contact with you, and you can't see her son for 2 months because at the end of the day, she's going to be in Italy with Hałłë, which was granted even though he tried to stop it. Okay, he tried to prevent Hałłë from going to Italy, but that's still happening. So to be quite honest, I feel like he did all of this to kind of embarrass her and taint her image, okay? But Halle Bailey should have known better. Okay, that's why you don't sleep with F-listers that don't really have much to lose. No shade. To me, the text messages came off as he was seeing other women. They might have been on a break or having issues in the relationship. And she started to go off. And then because she was suspicious of him, she was trying to put, air tags in his cars and stuff like that. Because she clearly did not trust him. Obviously. I don't feel like she was an endangerment to the child. Now, did she probably put hands on him? I do believe it. especially if she catch him texting Lalandi's industry thoughts. Of course she was going to do that. I can see her doing that while having postpartum. Is it right? No. But when you lay with pigs, you end up in the mud. And this is Halle Bailey's fault. Halle Bailey do got to be held accountable because at the end of the day, she was warned about doodle garbage. Everybody told Halle not to get with doodle garbage and she didn't listen. And now you going through this. The only person I feel bad for is Hałłë. He is going to be the one to suffer the most, unfortunately. But everybody else, doodle garbage, Halle, I don't feel bad for. Now, Queen B, she is basically stopping Halle from putting out music right now. You know, she's already filming for a movie, but Halle was supposed to put out a single, that song she got with Gorilla Glue, but she can't put it out right now because of all the bad press. And I just feel as though, it's like, was it worth it? Like, your career has went to the toilet because you got attached to an F-list streamer. Okay? He not even doing what Speed and Kai Cenat are doing. What was the point? He's a messy bottom. He's very messy. He only 5'6". And on top of that, his music is trash. I don't know what she saw in him, but he must have been a master manipulator. Now, Doodle Garbage's mama, Tonya Garbage, she decided to put out a statement. She said that she would be able to testify in court and that her first AirTag that she discovered was in June 2023 in Daryl's Maybach. Daryl called me that night stating that Halle Bailey had shown up uninvited to a movie theater in Beverly Hills where he was attending a film with a female friend. Then she said Halle Bailey made threats to F him up and she went to the movie theater, I guess, with her boyfriend in fear of Doodle Garbage's life, which I definitely don't believe. Okay, I think that they made that up. I do believe she probably did go to the movie theater uninvited, right? To see if Doodle Garbage was with another girl. But I just don't believe that the mama felt like Halle Bailey was going to kill or do anything to Doodle Garbage. Okay? That man has a gun. Stop. He's from the hood. And then they trying to say that Halle Bailey was trying to physically fight the woman that he was with. If that was the case, this would have came out a long time ago. I don't believe that a woman would allow Halle Bailey to press her and not go on social media and expose her. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. Then she says that she found a bunch of AirTags in the house and in, Doodle Garbage's car. I don't understand why, Doodle Garbage's mama is trying to bring herself in it. Like, it doesn't change the fact that Doodle Garbage is a shitty person. And I do believe that he has put hands on Halle Bailey. Okay? Especially if she was doing all of this, he definitely probably smacked her up a few times. Now, Halle did respond to Doodle Garbage's claims that, she is mentally unstable. She said, I have been very vocal about my anxiety, depression, and even about thoughts of offing myself. Without waiving the psychotherapist patient privilege and physician patient privilege, I have reached out to my doctor and received treatment to address these issues. I have been and remain 100% available and capable as a parent to our son, Hałłë. She also stated, had Daryl really been concerned about my parenting, he would have taken action prior to this time. This is a cold retribution to embarrass, humiliate, and cause me additional emotional distress. Okay, and I do feel like he was trying to retaliate against Hałłë, which I said before. Now, with that being said, a lot of fans are disappointed that Champagne Thickums and Nicki Minaj are not on the Carter 6. It was previously reported that they were going to be on the album, okay? Now, I said in the last video that I did that, I love when Wayne and Nicki collaborate. It's always heat, it's always fire. Same thing with Champagne Thickums. But at the end of the day, I feel as though it wasn't going to get a push anyway. Okay, because they got heat, they got classics since the beginning of the time. I think the last collaboration that was on his album was Dark Side of the Moon, and people did not support that record. Okay, but in regards to Wayne's album, I definitely would give it, like maybe a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. There are songs that I absolutely love, and then there are songs I'm like, I may not listen to, ever again. Now, the songs that I liked, Hip Hop featuring Big X The Plug, that's my song. That song is a boppity bop. Also, I liked Band From No. Flex Up is a bop. That's a complete boppity bop. And so is Island Holiday. Island Holiday was kind of reminding me of old Wayne a little bit. Island Holiday remind me of when Wayne was trying to go pop rock. I remember that era. That's what it was given. Low Key's Theme is also a bop. So he do got some hits on this album. I will give, the GOAT, Wayne, his 10s. Well, technically I'm giving him a 7 or 8 out of 10 for the whole album. But he do have a lot of bops on this album. I was definitely impressed. And he didn't really, to me, he might have had 1 or 2 big features, but the rest weren't really big artists. They was trying to say in the beginning a few months ago that he had Billie Eilish and, Purdue Chicken on his album. They was trying to act like he was coming with really big collaborations for most of the songs in the album, and that wasn't really the case. But he did have some decent, collaboration. I think he had Wyclef, he had Big Sean. I would love another Lil Wayne and Eminem collaboration. That would have been fire. If he got Big M, Eminem, and Nicki on the album, that it would have made it to a 10. But, I think he did a decent job. I'll give him an 8 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. Now, as for this song with Sabrina Carpenter, what is it called? Man-Child? This song is trash. I'm sorry, but this was not Espresso 2.0. You're supposed to be having a summer hit. This wasn't what it was. Okay, Sabrina, you might as well just go back on hiatus or, try to find a new boyfriend after getting cheated on by your ex, Humpty Grumpty. But with that being said, this was a chop, okay? I don't know what's going on with Sabrina, but at the end of the day, if you're not going to bring the hits, you can sit down, okay? We want to have fun. If you're not bringing the summer hits, please don't drop music, okay? I don't know what this was, but it was trash. Sorry. Okay, it was a chop. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in the description. And I hope you guys have a great day.